Good morning, everybody. Orange J here today to talk to you about Ash Echoes, an upcoming mobile RPG dropping on November the 13th. Now, this is a game that I had mentioned in a few older videos on a few live streams that I was looking forward to playing. The devs actually reached out to me and said, hey, do you want access to some closed beta, to a client to make a video for? We'll sponsor you for a video. And I said, absolutely. So I've had my hands on this game for a few days now, played through the story, experienced the game, and I have a lot to say about it, and I'm going to share that with you all today. Thank you, developers, for sponsoring this video. And let's start by just saying what Ash Echoes is. Now, I wrote down a lot of notes about this because Ash Echoes is a lot of things. First of all, it is a real-time tactical game, but it's also a mix of like tower defense with a roguelike mode and a grid-based tactical strategy game. Basically, you're like putting your characters onto the field on this grid. You're gonna play, or at least I played through most of the game on an auto setting, but you manually intervene when you feel it's necessary to like do special abilities, spend your skill points, stuff like that. Now, you can have the game like pilot the whole thing on auto. I experienced a lot of the game as like a free-to-play player would with just the starting characters. I'll show you some polls here in a little while. We'll kind of talk about the characters, but trying the game like that, I found that the difficulty curve spiked pretty hard early to where I needed to manually be placing my characters on the field and manually using skills at proper times. There's a ton of different character types in this game, a ton of different classes. That's not what this video is about, but building a good balanced team with like tanks, supports, AoE DPS, range DPS, melee DPS, all of this stuff comes together. And I think the people that watch the videos on my channel, people that like my content, this is the type of game we like. And this is why I was initially drawn to Ash Echoes. And it actually kind of exceeded my expectations in this regard, as well as being a lot of things that I didn't think it would be. Okay, let's dive in a little bit deeper here and talk about the world that you're taking part of in Ash Echoes. Now, I'm going to avoid main story spoilers, but stuff you learn right away is you're playing in a futuristic setting in a world where a big calamity of some kind has happened. Now, that's not unique in and of itself, but your main character existed in a parallel universe or something akin to that, where they were an entry-level employee into this organization called Seed. Now, something has happened. Somehow or another, you are now in a parallel world where you are the leader of this organization, and you are taking your heroes, called Echomancers in this game, through a journey, right? You're fighting the bad guys, you're leading them into battle, and the characters are something I want to spend a little bit of time talking about right here. Again, avoiding spoilers, but if we jump into the game, the character design is really, really good. Like the aesthetic of this game, and by the way, let me put my face back on the screen when I say this. By the way, there's a PC client for this game. I love games with PC clients. This game looks beautiful. It looks too beautiful to experience only on a phone. Thank you for a PC client. I wish all games had one. Okay, back to the game. Anyway, Echomancers. These are your heroes, right? This is your team. This is who you're building squads out of. And I haven't done a ton of polls yet. I've really tried to experience the game as a free-to-play player would, and I just recently did a bunch of polls to kind of start experiencing some more. But you could see there's a lot of your waifu type characters in this game. Like here's Infa, definitely waifu type character. You also have your husbando type characters. Here's Luke coming out on his, I was going to call it a motorcycle, but is definitely a moped. He's going to drop off some packages right here. He's a DPS. And if you're into the like cutesy kind of chibi characters, here's Felicio right here, who's, you know, in that range. So all the different types of characters are here. What you're seeing here is not all the units in the game. And in fact, I'll show off some summons later, but I love the character design. It's different than other games I play. It's not so different that it's foreign to me, but I like the mix of men to women. I do like having some strong men in my games, but you know, I'm also a waifu enjoyer like many other gacha game players. So we got girls, we got boys. Let's take a look at the polls. This is how you actually get characters in this game through the Spirit Drive. Now, I don't know if the live version of this game will have the same thing, but after I did my first 30 polls, and I saved this for this video, I have a 6-star selector. So it tells you I've already obtained this guy. I can come in here and pick somebody to kind of complement my team or somebody that I just want. There's a lot of different classes in this game, and team building around the different roles is a big deal. So if you really like the look of, let's say, Zodavid here, and I'm probably said that name right, Zodavid Azure, and you need a healer, this would be a great opportunity to pick her up, and now I have this 6-star healer for my squad to kind of go nuts. Let's take a look at the actual summon animation too. The devs hooked me up with a ton of polls so I could come in here and do some polls. Here's the summon animation. You're going to drag this thing right here, boom, and here we go. I do love games with an interactive summon animation. Obviously, for making content, that's something that really helps me. And this is a good lucky pull right here. You can see in slot 1, we got a 6-star right here. We got 2 golds and a bunch of regular ones. So like if I click one of these regular ones, boom, there's a 4-star character. That's what all these black ones are going to be. I already have most of these characters, so they'll just convert to, you know, character experience or character leveling material. More on that here in a minute. These gold ones, these are going to be your 5-star characters. So this is a new one. Frida, didn't have her before. And then these rainbow ones, boom, here we go. New 6-star character, Laurel, got her picked up. Again, me, guys, look, it's me. Saying names, you know I struggle with that. Back to the game. So I pick her up, new Echomancers. That's what the summon animation looks like. Now there is a skip button, but it's a really smooth summon animation. When you click skip, it will show you any new characters that you got. Then it'll skip again. Boom, let's do another 10 poll just for the sake of having fun in this poll video, because I'm gonna have more polls in this beta client right away than I'll have in the, you know, it's nice when the devs hook you up with a bunch of polls. But look, there we go, another 6-star. I'm gonna hit skip. So when I hit skip, it's gonna go ahead and show me the walkout animation. There's a new 5-star that I didn't have. The 6-star that I just got is a new one as well. It's another healer. There we go. And that's the pull. So that's what pulls in this game look like. The characters look really cool. The world, this like future apocalyptic kind of setting world, really fun to play in. And I really liked how the difficulty in the game progressed at about the time that I felt like I needed to start team building. Now I know that's not a new thing for these type of games, but I do love that like tactical side to the game, and having to play manual sometimes is a good thing. I love auto. Look, I love auto. And in games where you got to farm, and you get a farm in this game, having a full auto mode is really important. But in hard content, being able to click manually just when I need to is a really enjoyable way for me to play the game. We got lots of characters with which to do that. Love that. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about in this preview is a feature of Ash Echoes that is different than other games I've played. Now, characters in this game themselves don't have traditional levels, but the roguelike mode in this game will actually let you promote some of your Echomancers to a leader tip type position. So let me show you what that looks like. Here, I've set my main character to the leader, but you can see all these arrows saying, hey, that's not the most efficient, because I've taken some of my other members, like Lydia right here, run her through the roguelike mode. So if I set her as a leader, you can see this big stat boost to my whole team as I do that. And if I click this arrow right here, it'll be like, hey, you have materials to kind of to ascend these units. And that's the other leveling mechanic in this game. You level up your squad by building your leaders through the roguelike mode and ascending your other units. There are not traditional levels in this game. Like if you click Echomancer, honestly, this kind of confused me at first. Like if I go to one of the ladies you just saw me pull earlier right here, Zodavid, there's nowhere on the screen to like feed her level up experience. Instead, there's an ascension button that I could come in here, I can ascend her, she'll get a big stat upgrade right there, and these ascension materials are something you can farm. Yes, you can boost their stats by pulling dupes, that's separate from ascension. That's a whole nother thing that obviously I haven't really got into yet, but that's one way to level them, and it doesn't involve levels, which makes swapping units in and out of your teams a lot easier, because you're not committing a whole bunch of like rare character EXP material to a character and having them be like level 50 and then having to go back to a level 0 character, do all that again. Instead, you just need to make sure you're taking care of your ascensions, and when you have a character that you want to promote to the leader, you go into this Nexus mode right here. You run through the Nexus, and this is the roguelike mode of the game. As you run through that, you'll be provided with a whole bunch of choices that give your unit and your skills and your squad buffs, and then you promote them to the leader of your group, and that's how you power up your teams. This is a really fun thing to play with. It really promotes a lot of customization for your teams, and it's different. It's different. And I like having something different in a new gacha game, and I really appreciate that. So anyway, Ash Echoes dropping on November 13th. Thank you, developers, for sponsoring this video. This was a game I was going to check out anyway. I'm actually more excited to check it out now than I was before after experiencing the beta for a few days. So really looking forward to the launch. I hope my pull luck is as good in the launch as it just was in the like 2 random pulls I did in this video. So that's it, y'all. Looking forward to see y'all in game. I'll catch you next time. Peace.